it on?
It's on.
It's on. Oh, right.
Rolling.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Internet.
So, who's going to start the show?
What are we doing here?
Oh, look who we've got today.
Brian.
Yes, hi, Brian.
Hi.
Maybe Brian should start.
Brian, start the show.
Welcome to the property show, Run VT.
Excellent.
Okay,
Good
awesome.
start.
Thanks.
Is that better than Luke's start?
I don't know.
course it
Have you,
was,
had
I'm sat here.
have you had a bit of media training, Brian?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's that chisel chin.
Chisel chin, yeah.
One of the
All
most
set-
handsome guests
all
we've
set
had
for
so-
radio.
I feel like I should be sat like that.
No, just what you do is you look chicken neck, you like,
Yeah, yeah.
and then just hold it.
Okay,
up for a while.
didn't you get the memo about having a shaved voice?
Mate, it's 2018. It's all it's a rugged
Stumbles
man.
in.
Stumbles in?
Yeah, rugged manscape.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I've been going wrong, isn't it?
What's on the show?
Well, we're going to talk about lots of things today, but the star guest is we've got Nigel Mansell.
Brian
Mansell.
Yeah, Nigel Mansell.
Oh, that's the one.
That's the
Yeah,
good
that's
one.
the one. That's the
I was
one.
going to do it now.
But,
I can't do it now.
but joking apart,
Yes.
your uncle is
Nigel.
actual
Actual Nigel Mansell.
Mansell.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Wow,
That's pretty awesome.
There you go.
Is your house just a Formula One trophy cabinet?
I can't stand Formula 1 actually. But like the Scottish Premiership, it's a procession between two people. It's boring.
Okay, moving on.
I have thoughts on Scottish football as well. Not
Sorry
sure.
to any of you Scottish
So-
football fans out there, obviously.
In
Well,
terms of-
Nigel,
Yes,
Brian,
Brian.
sorry. Big wig in the industry, ex-director, head guy, top person at Foxtons, the Foxtons.
The Foxtons.
Yeah. Director, area manager, director, head person
Yeah.
at Your Move, LSL.
Yes.
Big wig for Countrywide.
Oh, we were chatting about Countrywide on the show last week.
Oh, yes, yes.
Chris
How are your
recently
shares
purchased
doing?
loads of shares.
How are your shares doing, Chris?
Totally shit.
How much? You can't tell that from
Just
us.
remind.
Just tell me it was less
just
than
rem-
9p.
Just
yeah?
remind us what you bought them at,
I bought them at 50p.
and remind what they're worth now.
Well, 14p at the moment.
They'll come back.
It's a long-term
They'll
investment.
come back.
Chris, yeah.
What are
Long
your
game.
thoughts?
My thoughts are, probably controversial in this respect, but
Yeah.
they were a lot higher than 50p at one stage.
Six
when I
quid?
was
Do you think
there.
they'll come back?
I don't. I think there's.
Major problems?
I
or-
think there's just a lack of direction, really. I don't see
Right.
any strategy, any direction. And I have a lot of good friends there, and there's some sort of very good people. I think, if anything, Paul Crefield's a good guy.
Right.
I've known Paul. I've worked with Paul before. Paul's got his head screwed. He knows what he's doing. He's an estate agent.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got a good
What would you
background.
do?
Get back to basics. Get back to focusing on the customer rather than trying to make money out of it.
Funny you should mention that because our guest the other week, Mr. Emerson,
Nathan,
Yes, Nathan.
top
Hi,
man,
Nathan.
friend of the show.
Nathan said exactly that. He's an estate agency kind of trainer guru.
Yeah.
He's worked at one of the biggest estate agencies, certainly locally to us in Lincolnshire. This
Yeah.
is where we are. Pygott and Crone. He was a director.
I know Pygott
there.
and Crone.
He's just left them, and he's now taking agencies on
Yeah.
and in an advisory role.
Yeah.
And his entire ethos was back to basics.
Absolutely.
Pick up the phone, do everything.
Prospecting.
Power back to the
Power back to the
branches,
front. Yeah,
profit
that's it.
share.
That's
let
it.
them get
That's
them.
it.
That's what we used to have when I was there. We had the subsidiaries had complete control. They had
Yeah.
to report to the main board, but we had complete control of purchasing, marketing. We had control of hiring, recruitment, staffing, and we made an absolute ton of money.
Yeah.
And the market hasn't changed. People still need to sell their house. Still
No,
need mortgages.
no.
Did you cut down the number of brands? If there's like multiple countrywide brands in one town?
In one town, I probably would do. Yeah. I focus on prime market. Where in any one of those towns, where's the market moving? What's the right brand for that market?
Yeah.
Rebuild that another stage, but focus on that.
So what does back to basics mean for you then?
Back to basics means, what I call proper estate agency, which is if you have somebody that is wanting to find a house, then they're going to connect with someone in the branch or online, but particularly in the branch, and that person is then responsible to make sure they are always kept informed of new
Start to
properties
finish.
from start cradle to grave, start to
Total
finish.
service.
Yeah, total service.
Yeah,
Total
there are
service.
some good advocates of that at the minute.
Yeah.
There's some people doing really
Agents
well in
aren't
the
doing
market.
it. Agents
No.
are shit.
Some are, and they're
Some are.
prospering. Like
So
Mackay.
I'm not being derogatory there,
But some are
generally,
though. Some of them are doing it really well. I mean, you look at
But
Power.
the minority though.
But you look at
20% I reckon are amazing, but 80% they're just going through the motions, transactional.
Well, it's what I said before. It's post and pray brigade. There's so many of them that just go right move, put it on right move, and
Bang
hope we
on,
get some
yeah.
viewings.
Is that,
And if we
post,
don't,
is that post and pray?
post and pray.
Post on right move.
Yeah, and pray
pray
get some
that the
viewings.
business comes in.
Pray you sell the house.
So
Yeah.
Don't send the negotiators
What can
to
you
see
do-
it because they haven't got enough
okay,
negotiators.
what can the valuers and the negs do on the ground to make a difference?
Well, I mean, first of all, they need to understand their market. You know, if a customer comes back, well, they need to football first. They need to love what they do. Yeah, which part of the job do you love? If you don't love it, go and do something else. Life's too short. Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
You know, I love being an estate agent, and I looked at the bits of estate agency I love, and as long as I'm doing more of those and the bits I don't like, then it's a great place to be.
True.
And that is work. You know, you are coming into someone's life for a 4, 8, 12-month period where you can make an actual difference.
And an important part of life because you're going from one chapter of your life to another. aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a major moment in someone's life, and we're there to help them.
Well, you
And
know,
I suppose,
you-
well, I
sorry,
was going to say, if you do it that well, then surely you might get some repeat business, albeit 8, 10 years down the line.
but you'll get the referrals.
of
and word of
course
mouth,
you will,
and
if you
say,
ask
well,
for them.
actually, like this person really sorted me out.
Yeah.
What? So you're saying about the sort of pray and spray or spray and pray?
Post and pray.
Well, whatever. Whatever it might be.
Pay and
Spray.
spray.
I'm thinking
That's
of
a
like
whole different
spraying
show.
marketing materials out across.
Yeah.
You know, like a spray and pray. You know, like you would do. You know, and in your opinion, in the current market,
Yeah.
if you could be doing, I'm hoping you're going to say one thing. If you could be
Find out in a
doing
minute.
one thing better,
Yeah.
or you could be targeting your marketing in one way,
Yeah.
what would you do more of?
I would be more of a sniper than a machine gunner.
Yes.
Okay, I'd use data and I'd use proper information
Targeted.
to
Yes.
target where, and as I say, we say it in our training seminars, fish where the fish are. But in order to fish where the fish are, you need to know where the fish are swimming. So
Where are
that's
the fish?
market data.
Where are the fish swimming?
Well, they're swimming in any particular individual market town where people are buying and selling.
Well, you
houses.
actually said, because we've just had a Watkin versus Bryan Mansell in the studio, and you said estate agents should be adopting a lot more video by showing people around, but not just the walking around with a selfie stick, actually being in the video itself, like
Yeah,
TV
presenting
programs.
it. Like a version of Homes Under the Hammer, essentially. I think certainly what
Have you ever been on Homes Under the Hammer?
No. They tried me this time. Let my doppelganger Gordon Ramsay do it. I didn't like it. Mansell's Agency Nightmares. That's the TV program.
Nice.
After
Write
this.
that down.
Write that down.
Put that one down. I'll be your star.
Hang on,
Chris and me
Mansell's
go around doing Mansell Watkins Agency Nightmares.
Agency
There we go.
Yeah, but I don't think it'd be very good because you go, get the it's effing ass,
Yeah.
effing this.
People watch it.
effing bloody five places.
You just got to do this. You just got to go, wow, quite a lot.
Is that
That's
right?
what Ramsay always does. He's
Wow.
like, when he goes,
Let's do it to the camera.
wow.
Hi, Gordon, if you're watching.
He will not.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm sure he is.
So I didn't phone you back. I'll ring you later.
We talked about appearing in your own videos. I mean, we mentioned it on the show last week, I think,
Yeah.
but Matt and Summer from Newman's.
Oh,
I know, I've seen those.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
doing really
Summer
well.
Newman.
But we have
Yeah.
to stay
Very good.
because there might have been a little bit of the one that they did with for the one that we've shown is a great example.
Yeah.
They have had that produced.
Yeah, well, where's your 3-bedroom terrace house in the middle of Wigan? Where the
No,
market
they
is?
are, but they are doing
That's
those.
the ones you want
They
to
are
do
doing
as
those as well.
Right.
But for a top end property, they've got a company like us in
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
the production
Some
because
drone
we didn't want
footage,
people
yeah.
to think because obviously we do training. There's
Yeah.
a course coming up on the 10th of September. There's 2 spaces left. The studio's here and. We didn't want people who'd been on our training to think, Christ, you know, Summer and Matt, they've gone well out of it and they've got this production
Yeah.
level. So, you know, they are doing a lot
Now,
themselves
what
as well.
Luke said, don't compare your chapter 10, someone else's chapter
That's
10 to
right.
your chapter 1.
That's right.
And I tell you what I'm a big fan of is those gimbal things.
Yeah.
Osmos, yeah.
Yeah, Osmo things.
That's it.
But the important thing is not to do them in selfie mode.
Yeah.
Because they look silly.
Yeah.
Is to get someone
Yeah.
to hold it as you walk round.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
look amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true, yeah.
Well,
Because
that's,
you also want to come across as a professional that knows what they're talking about.
They're brilliant. They
Because
are.
the people that I know they're fantastic. Because the people that are going to your audience. It's always about let's think about your audience. What do you want the audience
Just
to think of
copy
you
the TV
doing?
programmes. Homes of the Hammer.
Yeah, well, we had a couple of guys here, Luke Sinclair from Knightsbridge, who we
Hi, Luke.
love highly.
Love Luke.
So he's doing incredible things in Oadby and Leicester.
Yeah.
He's got the Leicester Property blog. And he came with his young lad Harry, who's with him for a bit of time. And we basically boiled down their property tours into, like, as you say, what would your customer want to see?
Yeah.
Because at the minute, what they were doing, or what a lot of people are guilty of, is showing, like, walking in the house and
Every
go,
room.
here's the downstairs bog,
Yeah. Doing a
here's,
viewing,
here's
yeah.
the hallway,
Looking at the
here's
camera
this.
all the time. Never
You know,
look at the camera all the time.
And what really we should do for social media is a couple of minutes, max. A minute's great,
Yeah.
but showing the key features, like
Yeah.
the best. Like, because when a client rings you, like if I was to move house, I'd like to at some
Yeah.
stage, you know, just if there are any Grantham agents watching, call me, and I'd like to look at some houses. But no,
You have to tell them
the
what,
thing
though.
is, I don't know.
Just
I know what your number is as well.
I don't know. But, they can message the show. But
We need to earn some more of this.
Need some more.
Moolah.
Ching. But anyway, like, what you want to do is show the
nude
nice,
side.
you know, the nice kitchen. Stop it! You're such a child.
Is that, have you got one that goes, just get off this bit? Take the batteries out. You got that click thing, yeah? Film click, click it, you pause it.
Oh, yes.
So you want to show the nice features. So
Yeah.
the kitchen, the master bedroom, if it's got a nice garden, that stuff. Boil it down. Don't
Yeah.
show
You
said
every
that
single
earlier
one.
on.
Yeah,
Don't show
what made you buy
You've
the
been,
house?
you've been listening to our video.
No,
so
but is
it's
there one
fine.
we can show?
We show a little snippet of
a
your
little
previous
snippet.
chat.
Could that be quite a good idea?
Yeah.
Just slip
Yeah.
that little bit in there.
Which one are we showing?
Drop a
Okay, cool.
snippet in.
So let's have a video of Brian and Chris chatting about estate agency in 2018.
Right. Yep.
Bryan Mansell, ex-director of Foxtons, ex-director of LSL, director of All Stars. Talk to me about overvaluing an estate agency, because if you don't know, no one does.
Well, that's quite easy, Chris.
Because everyone's doing it. I've
There's
been
no
in this.
such thing.
No such thing.
No. How do you overvalue something?
Well, to get it on the market, overcook the listing price to get the business.
Yeah, but think about the principle of what the job of a valuer or a lister is actually doing is they're saying, when they give a price, they are saying there is nobody in the world that will pay a penny more for that. And I trust you would never find an estate agent that hasn't sold a house for less than they thought or more than they thought. So therefore, their job is not to value. That job is RICS. Yeah? An estate agent's job is to actually market the hell out of someone's home and leave no stone unturned to find one person, that's all it takes, who might pay some money. And if an estate agent says, Chris, your house is worth 250 to 300,000, what they're actually saying, all their expertise and their knowledge, there's no one that's going to pay 301. How the hell do they know that?
Well, that went well.
That's
It went really well.
flowing like the lava, that
I
chat.
thought we were excellent in that, as
Yeah.
well, both of us.
Well, moving on from your
You said
Q&A.
yourself.
Moving on from your Q&A,
Yes.
I've got a couple of questions into the show.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
You got the hat.
My mum rung in.
Okay, so I need my
Told her I
face.
was
Come
here.
on, Brian.
So let's ask
like
the
that,
prop
boys.
show. So,
Just like that.
That's a lot.
so we've got a couple of questions. So I'm going to put one to Matt,
Hi.
and then I'm going to put one to Christoph. Yeah. So do you want me to swing my tassel?
Yeah.
So Matt, we've been asked about what the top 5 bits of kit are for
Ooh.
agents to get going with video.
See a face.
Funnily enough,
Funnily enough,
in last week's show,
Yes.
if you haven't seen it already,
watch it. It's below.
watch it because there's a little clip in there of us three
Yeah.
chatting about the top 5 kits.
Yeah. So following on,
tripod.
what are they? Tripod. Why?
Because look how steady our picture is because our camera's on a tripod.
Awesome.
There's a
Susan.
Hi,
lazy
Susan.
Susan.
Not Susan.
Tripod.
Yep.
Mobile telephone.
Yep.
Great
Obviously,
cameras.
Got to take the camera.
Got a camera, yeah.
Got a camera on it.
That's two.
Audio. We're big fans
Yes.
of clean audio.
Oh, we just found a new mic on the Amazon.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Amazon?
On Amazon.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's called the
We-
Panda.
Purple Panda. Okay, so we'll put a link.
Is it better than Hey Mike?
Oh,
no,
I don't
don't
know.
know.
I've heard of Hey
I've just
Mike.
bought that.
But
Okay.
this was a tenner.
Bluetooth.
This was a
Sorry.
tenner.
Yeah.
Right, plug in. Cable.
10 of your English.
10 of your English pounders.
English.
Yes.
One £10 note. And it came with like a bunch of connectors for every type of camera. It came with a TRRS to TRS, that's the number of circles to make it work with your phone.
iPhone.
Needs a
Samsung.
TRRS for that one.
It depends on your phone. But
Okay.
yeah, but it comes with all the connectors you could ever want.
Okay.
And it's got the
So
Wind
connect the
muffler.
city.
and it came with the wind muffler, which we've talked about in the other shows.
Huge thing
on
for
top.
getting wind mufflers.
So that came.
What's a wind muffler?
It's just like
When you're
a,
outside.
Chris comes
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, no,
Looks like that dead
looks
cat.
like a little,
Oh,
like a
right.
little fluffy mic, but
Right.
basically just kills all wind noise.
Right.
Really, really good. There's a training video on our YouTube that shows the power of one of those. It's
Right.
literally a tiny bit of kit, but
Stops that
incredible.
scratchy wind noise.
Oh, right.
But it
That's
comes,
what we-
yeah,
okay.
it comes with one of those.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. £10. So we'll put a link
So
link
cheap.
below. So there's those three.
Also, we've got to be thinking about top 5 bits of kit. Some editing software
Yep.
Yeah.
would help.
sure.
Well, that's going
Um,
to lead us on to question 2. So that's
yeah.
nice. handy.
Okay, nice.
And then the final
Transition.
bit.
Do you want some help here? Yeah, call the.
Yeah, go on, I'll phone a
Have
friend.
you actually set a camera?
Hi,
It
Chris.
was set a
Yeah,
camera,
set a camera.
Yeah.
that's
camera,
fine. You lost me
mic,
ages ago.
tripod, probably a little bracket.
Call a friend.
The bracket.
Ring, ring. Hi, Chris. Yeah,
Hi,
I've got
Hang on.
Matt in the studio. He's on £64,000 and he's wanting to know what is the 5th bit of kit he can't remember.
Decent content.
Whee!
That's it.
Okay, decent content. So decent content.
Thanks, mate.
That's the 5th bit kit. Okay, cool. And also, because I didn't mention it, a bracket that attaches your phone to your tripod, otherwise it will fall off.
Okay.
6 bits of 6 top tips.
Yeah,
Six
6
top
top
tips.
tips. So that's
6
really
top
good.
tips in 5.
Hey,
Okay.
buy one get one free.
It's because we are the gift that keeps giving.
Just keep giving.
Second question is a sort of question for you,
What's the
Christoph,
sixth
but
bit?
it's also a question for you. About software. So Matt's mentioned software. We have another question in what the best software is out there for production. Now we use a couple of different types to train on, so because we
In
try
the
and keep
course.
it low cost on the
Yes.
course. So
In the-
iMovie,
We don't use the word low cost. We use the word inexpensive.
inexpensive. So iMovie,
Don't use the word cheap.
iMovie, which is obviously free if you've got Mac, comes with it.
Yeah, but I'm not iMovie on an iPad because it's
No.
crap.
No, yeah.
And not iMovie on an iPhone because again it's
Rubbish.
even twice as
Yeah,
crap.
yeah.
It needs to be on the MacBook or your
Yeah,
iMac.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
free.
And
so
it's free.
FOC.
Yeah, it's
FOC.
free.
Charge.
Yes,
Very
or
inexpensive.
there's we train with Premiere Elements, which is basically the step down from proper Premiere, which filmmakers like us would use. We use
Scorsese
use Final
uses
Cut
that
Pro,
as
well. Yeah.
which is a pro.
Yeah.
But Scorsese uses a thing. But
You just Final Cut, didn't you?
well, it depends.
Probably- yeah.
There's an industry split.
Yeah.
You know, so there's pros and cons for like
It's like
proper
VHS
software.
versus Betamax.
No, I mean, in
Top
in,
loading versus front
in
loading.
in tech terms, the Premiere, the proper Premiere, talks to all of the
Sorry.
creative clouds.
What's the easiest one to use? Right, I'm a complete novice.
iMovie's really straightforward.
If I'm an estate
it's
agent,
plug and play.
shots it on my iPhone.
Really
plug
straightforward.
it in.
iMovie's
iMovie,
really,
make it
really
look like
quick. You
Back
can
to the
make home
Future.
movies.
Very
or,
intuitive,
yeah.
yeah.
Super
Permission to
easy.
throw in a bomb. Is there a music? Is there a sound for this one?
There is.
It's got
Go on then.
Okay, throw in a bomb.
You don't need it because really all you need to do is put the bloody phone on, press record,
Yeah.
press stop,
Yeah.
and every single mobile phone editing software allows you to crop.
Yeah.
A little
You
bit.
don't have to put in fancy graphics or words. Just
No.
bloody film it.
But
Sorry, very
obviously,
passionate.
Yeah,
yes,
that's a
no,
good
I
point,
agree
good
with
point.
you.
Just do it.
I do agree. I
JFDI.
do agree with you. I think initially, just get out there and do.
Do it.
Yeah. However, as you get better,
Yeah.
you will want to improve
You're right,
your
progress,
content.
yeah.
Yes.
Because everything is like a progression.
Yes, but it's starting. That's what the guys out there.
Just
they're all
do.
worried.
Just
they're
do.
worried that Luke's got the whizzy graphics and I'm not.
Yeah, but he's
good
been
enough.
doing it. He
His
came on
first
one of
ones
our
were-
he came on
were
one of our very
atrocious.
first courses, didn't he? One of the big ones that went.
Did, yeah.
You and I and
Manchester.
Chris
Yeah.
toured the country with
Yeah.
30 to 50 agents in a room, hard going because we couldn't give one-to-one. Our courses are now 8 people to 2 trainers and Chris as well, who comes and does hearts and minds and content ideas for industry.
Wow.
But you basically, Matt and I have 4 agents each,
Yep.
which is much more manageable than 25.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So there was that, but his stuff then was awful. Like, and he'll say himself, like his stuff was terrible.
Everybody's is the very first start.
Of course it is,
Of course,
but
yeah.
now,
Expectation low
but
and then
now,
grow it.
I mean, he's producing
Flow
stuff.
like the larvae, isn't it?
But he's not. But he's not
It's good.
alone.
Yeah.
You know, there were some people who started with us early doors. People like Adam Mackay at Sawbridgeworth.
Yeah.
I mean, he just had his Love Sawbridgeworth film shown at a live event at the weekend. We'll put a bit of a clip in now.
I love Sawbridgeworth. It's a great place for a small business.
That was good, wasn't it?
Like that.
That
Lots of people, big
all the
screen.
people, massive screen, huge thing. That amazing. And that was the first showing of that video. Brilliant. But he's now being approached by the MP, as is Luke. Luke's now being approached by the BBC to be their expert in Leicester every time they need someone.
You can't buy that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Vaughan in Wrexham.
Do you know what it's like, right? It's like
mental.
in the old days of agency, you used to get press cuttings. You used to get, you used to get the stuff in the paper, and you cut them out, and you show your vendors that you get additional advertising. That's what that is now.
Yeah.
But it's like much better now.
Oh,
it's
crazy.
That's what you said earlier. Being the local property expert, actually bloody well proving it, and not talking about your bloody self all your time, how big you really is.
Exactly. That's the end of the Ask Prop, so I'll remove the hat.
Okay.
Should we just quickly find out what's happening in the local market?
Oh, yeah, why not?
Steve, let's find out what's going on.
Steve says! Market's very slow.
Thanks, Steve.
Anyway, so Peter Knight.
What's that about?
Doesn't matter. Peter Knight.
I like it as a feature.
Are you supposed to run it by me?
No, you've been with Peter Knight.
Yeah. Been with Peter Knight.
Off of the EA Masters.
Yes, off EA Masters, Best
and
Estate
the
Agent
Times.
Guide.
Yeah, we talked about him the other week.
Yeah, and we had a second session interviewing, and one of the things we talked about was how to beat cheap fee agents.
Said when your camera angle's better.
Sorry?
When your camera angle's better.
Why? What do you mean? The room was the size of a single bedroom. What the hell am I going to do?
Postage stuff. But yes, no, joking apart. What was the content? Should we have a look at it?
Yeah, let's have a little bit now.
Okay. What's this one about?
Cheap fees. How to beat them.
How to beat cheap fees.
Peter, cheap fee estate agents, how do you beat them? Talk to me.
So there's always been cheap agents, right? And this idea that there's going to be, it's a new phenomenon is crazy. I remember when we were running Jackson Property Services, our average fee was 2.75% sole agency. And we used to go for a hat trick, what we call scale fee, a board up and sole agency. And we got that in over 90% of cases. And we had people at the time doing 0.5% deals and all the rest of it. So it's not a new phenomenon. Josh Vegan said at a recent event for us, he said, there's always the cheapest agent in town. And he went on to say, and you don't want to be that agent. Actually, I would correct him and say you don't want to be the second cheapest. Because the cheapest agent at least has a proposition and a point of difference where they can actually potentially win some business, right? On a different business model. So fundamentally, there are some people who buy cheap, right? There are some people who buy cheap everything. They've got the cheapest car, they've got the cheap holidays, they go to the cheapest supermarkets, they've got the cheapest cuts of meat, they've got the cheapest clothes, and so on and so forth. I hope none of the people watching this particular video are in that category, but there'll always be those, and that's fine. Let them go cheap, right? But the vast majority of people will pay a premium for things so long as they can see the value. So the key is, the value is not what estate agents often market themselves to. The value is not, we're on Rightmove and Zoopla, we take professional photography, we have professionally drawn floor plans, so what, right?
Everyone else does.
Pretty much everyone does. So that's no longer, and terms like we're traditional, we're independent, we're professional. What does amateur estate agents are? People who just do it as a hobby, they don't get paid.
We're the local town of Leeds Lane for Towns.
Yeah, we've been there for 25 years and.
No one cares.
It's gone with the wind. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, right? What people care about is for themselves. So what are they interested in? They are fundamentally interested in getting their property sold or let on their timetable for as much money as possible. So what an agent needs to do to substantiate a fee that is higher than their competitor is to demonstrate and to prove and to cause a customer to go, do you know what? I'm going to go with that person.
So how would you beat cheap fees then?
I beat cheap fees by not worrying about fees at all. I mean, when you're going out on
controversial.
Well, you go out on instruction. Who wants to pay a cheap fee? People want the value of their house.
Yeah.
If you go with a cheap fee agent, the danger that you have is it costs you thousands or lost revenue.
Yeah.
The best agents aren't cheapest.
How do you prove that?
You use the logical element of certainty by taking historic stats that show how many properties you've got above the asking price. Here's a good tip, right?
Top
tip
from Nigel Mansell.
To beat cheap
Stop
fees.
going out saying we'll do a cheap fee. Aggregate the last 24 or 12 month transactions and add up all the different houses you sold above the asking price or above what the vendor wanted. Collect how much that is and then mark it on the back of the fact that you actually have made this amount of profit for your customers.
Top tip.
That needs
People don't want cheap, they only want cheap if they've got no other choice, yeah?
Well, we're finding this like from chatting to people, across the UK, but the Australian vendor paid marketing model where they don't mess around with 1% or 1.5%. Some of them are like 2 and 3% because they get 5 viewings rather than 16 viewings. But those 5 viewings are serious buyers, and they will get their asking price, if not above.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome.
Anything else?
One Dome.
Well, they've said that the glasses are in the post.
Oh, I love my One Dome glasses. Have you seen these?
These new VR glasses.
Okay.
No, so we love One Dome. We met them at an event.
We've had to stop singing their song because
We've
the
stopped
merch
singing the
hasn't
one.
turned
We've
up.
got a One Dome song, but we're not singing it because we've got no specs other than this pair that are gracing my beautiful design.
They've said that there's some on the way.
Amazing. So we can
Does
sing
it do
it.
in red?
No, only yellow.
No,
One Dome yellow.
One Dome.
for the love of God.
One Dome. But yeah, yes. So let's see whether.
And do you know, Brian? Do you know, Brian? That if One Dome had promised what they said they were going to deliver, you would have had
You too could
Yeah.
have owned a pair of One Dome
Been our
glasses.
first guest on.
Look,
Take away.
hashtag gutted.
I know. You would have looked amazing, but I can't
I
give
would
you
have
them.
worn the
Just
shit
put 'em
out
on.
of these as well.
You would, because they are.
See?
You look
Look.
awesome. in them. How amazing! Yeah.
Rock.
Do you know what?
One dome.
One Dome.
Oh yeah!
One Dome. That wasn't even a D. I don't know.
Well, there's a P, wasn't it?
Fine. Right. Well, I mean that's
I think that's it, boys and
that's
girls.
it. Bring us to the end of the show.
So he doesn't know how we finish the show, does he? I know you might have seen the shows.
No. So we.
Oh, there's more than one of these, is there?
Yeah.
No, I've watched them. I've watched them.
Unbelievable.
Oh, got a viewer.
Can't get the guests. But we've got some cool people coming up on the show soon. John Paul from Castle Dean's coming.
Oh, John Paul.
JP, he's coming down. He might bring us a copy of his book, which I'm hoping might grace our wall of wonder.
Signed
And,
copy, please, John Paul.
I'd like a signed one.
He's coming down, and we're going to be partaking of beverages.
Yeah, but he's done some really great Facebook Live recently about recruiting the best people. He's been doing some really good stuff with Facebook Live, so I want to talk to him about that.
Yeah.
Are you
Matt
bringing a
Giggs is coming-
translator in as well because he comes from the northeast?
Well, yeah, it's funny.
I lived in Newcastle for 10 years, so I can help you out there.
Matt can translate.
Yeah, I'll do some live
Sound like
translating.
you did as well, yeah.
And then we've
Was he based in
got Matt
Somerset?
Giggs is going to come on.
Yeah, Giggs is coming along.
Yeah, Matt Giggs is coming along.
James Dawson from Wilson Homes in Peterborough, because he's a big advocate of one video a day, and he did the 30-day
Yeah,
challenge.
watch them, go watch them.
Steve Wayne's desperate to come up because he's a friend of the show, and
stuff.
also Adam Mackay and Sawbridge Worth.
Yes,
we've got
yes.
some really good guests coming on who we can talk to about video content and stuff.
Good stuff.
So that'll be really good.
Well,
But
there's only one thing to say now, isn't there?
Yeah.
Wrap it up and shout.
Shalom!